this one, and Yay is back!
O Kalil já vai pro desarme. É o Timão agora. Os jogadores dentro da Smoke. Vai, Kalil!
Hello. Welcome back to the broadcast. I am Sean, and I am here with the Telestrator, which is the last round of the first half for EG. This is one of the few set plays we saw Potter bust out for the team, and this one is a banger. So I'm gonna full screen the mini map for the first go through because there is a lot that is about to happen. I'm gonna draw attention to these two smokes on Ye, who's playing solo A as an anchor. He's gonna pop them right away in order to stall those extremities. And the reason why he's stalling is because, as you can see, we have 4 players in mid on EG. It's gonna get wild. It's gonna turn into a full out push with Icy going up top, the Vice going up into the bookshelf and throwing a flash through this upper wall. And Omen is actually going to ult all the way in the attacker spawn. Watch how this all plays out and how these players all coordinate on this run through. So on the run through, you're gonna see right now, Icy is going to push up top. The smoke comes in from Supa, and that smoke is interesting because it would block the lane completely from anyone that's rotating bottom mid that rolls into this B site. And as you can see, it's also stalled out from a prior smoke from Ye. So they've thought this all through in the early round. Now going back into the round from the start, you can see how it plays out in actuality. The smoke goes in bottom mid, both smokes pop by Ye. Icy slow walking up top, Vice flash pops, Derek gets the kill up top. Everything is so well choreographed in this moment. This is insane from Potter. So Supa in the back lines, Icy coming up top right here, and then these two also double facing down low. Absolutely incredible. Icy, guy on your screen right here, we have a lot to talk about with him.
We do indeed. I mean, Icy picked up several multi-kill rounds in this first half. He looked on fire.
Yeah, I want to say he looked on fire, but he was just ice cold in the server, though. That's the crazy thing, right? He had so much impact in this map. I mean, he won both pistols with the entries that he was getting. And on top of that, the 3Ks that he got, I mean, it's over. It's just done. He ran amok. I think Ender was saying he's just toying with him at some point. And his off presence on the defensive side was also very good. And then, not only him, I have to highlight Ye's performance on the attacking side. Ye on the attack off, like I was kind of like, okay, Ye didn't look that great on the defensive side. On the attack, he even looked great on the operator.
Huge clutch in this game as well to get it over the finish line.
Exactly, and that opened up the opportunity for Icy to be able to just dash in because he had the support of literally one of the best operators in North American Valorant, just holding a lane.
Look at those numbers, though.
Dude was looking like a Swiss Army knife out there. Like you were saying, he was opping, he was winning both the pistols like efficiently for them, getting multi-frags. Constantly multi-fragging with a rifle, getting ult value.
Yeah.
Honestly, this was a breakout game here for Icy. I was very impressed.
We have to give some credit as well to Furia, though. This was a much better showing than what we've seen from them last week.
There was moments where I felt like they were going to run away with it in that second half, the eco, but EG just kept their foot down and rolled with it.
Well, for now, let's head on over to the stage and hear what Coach Potter has to say ahead of map 2.
Potter, you get the win on that first map of Abyss, looking pretty good, but I'm very excited to see what you're going to bring in Fracture. You are before the pioneer of that Sova composition, that Sova meta that other teams started to play. What can we expect on that map?
Well, we had a lot of things cooked up. The Tejo definitely changed a lot of things for us coming onto Fracture. Tejo looks like it's just hand in hand on this map. So definitely can expect some experimentation. It's early on in the year. But yeah, you're right. Fracture, it's my bread and butter. So I'm excited to see us execute today.
Can't wait.
So what are we hearing here? Are they going to pick up Tejo? If you can't beat him, beat him.
I mean, she wasn't talking about Strats when she said execute. They're going to execute Furia out of this event right now. Potter's Fracture's about to pop off. Yeah. I have faith in that.
I 100% agree. I was talking to So about this before we got on here. I was like, I'm so excited for this next match of Fracture because Potter has been known to revolutionize metas on this map, and now that it kind of seems like she's hinting towards including a Tejo in that, it's going to be scary if you're Furia. But also, I have no idea what Furia is going to run at all. I mean, they could really run something crazy of their own, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
So far, they've been more relying on the classics.
Yeah.
Will that work against EG though?
I think from what I've realized in VCT, like so far, is that if you're running original comps, you really have to try your absolute hardest in order to win against the Taeho.
You have to innovate on the default comps, which
literally.
is so difficult to do.
People have been playing them for like a year and a half now.
People are creating these Taeho comps to beat the default comp. So the whole game plan is to beat the default comp. So you really have to be cooking on those comps.
And maybe we see a Yay Chamber. I don't know, man.
Don't get me excited.
I know, right?
You're manifesting
I know,
it.
right?
You have to speak it into existence.
Mimi was saying it. He was making Astro look like Chamber anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe he'll still pick up the op. We've seen Ye be such a menace with the operator on Fracture. And it's not like a crazy map where you have to be aggressive. You kind of take passive angles for the most part.
Well, for now, let's head on over to hear what Coach Pew has to say ahead of map 2.
Thank you, guys. Coach Pew, last time we got the chance to see you guys playing on Split, you banned it this time. So why is the reasoning why you banned Split? And also, what can we expect for your map of Fracture, your map choice?
Basicamente a gente tá jogando 7 mapas da rotação e aí a gente escolheu banir Split por uma questão de preparação para o jogo mesmo. Eles já tinham jogado, a gente deu uma olhada na Split 3 contra a Loud, resolvemos banir. E sobre a Fracture em si, é um mapa que a gente sempre foi muito confortável nele e tava ali, como eles baniram a Heaven, né, que foi o nosso pick na última MD3, eu resolvi picar a Fracture hoje, que também é um mapa forte e que eles também não têm estudo da gente ainda.
Yeah, we trying to do the whole seven maps for the rotation, and we picked Split because we watched a little bit and they play well there. And for the next map, Fracture, I think it's a map we are very comfortable with, and since they blocked Bend Haven the last time, I think that was a good one for us to play.
All right, thank you so much. Goodbye.
Well, it's going to be exciting to see what both of these teams have in store for us, but it is a bold move to pick Fracture into EG.
Yeah, it's super bold. I mean, the fights on Fracture can be a little bit brawly on the extremities, and you can get caught on the crunches top side or south side, on the map. But you would have to think that Potter, who innovated a lot of that stuff, is teaching this new team, like all the protocols for those things. And that's where it gets difficult for Furia.
Well, we'll head into map 2 right after a short break. Don't go anywhere.
We're getting to see EG on Fracture for the first time since Champions 2023. A very different team now, and a very different meta too. Potter saying in that interview that she felt like Taeho was a massive change to this map. And thus far, neither of these teams have picked him in an official.
Yeah, where a lot of other teams were just sort of throwing that agent into the mix. These teams were not doing that. So I sort of feel like Fracture, I mean, you played tons of Taeho.
I've only played Taeho this act. I've played probably 30
Tell
games.
me about Taeho on this map.
This is his best map,
There
in
we
my
go.
opinion. I mean, he makes Killjoy basically useless in terms of ult. He's so good for the aggressive north or south side crunches you see a lot. With small sites, he utterly eviscerates sites. So I'd be surprised if both of these teams didn't pick him, and EG does pick up that Taeho.
Yeah, of course, EG were the ones that sort of trailblazed with the Sova on this map many ages ago, but I feel like Taeho has definitely eclipsed that agent. It's just so powerful for like early control over space, A main, etc.
That's a weird one. Double Senti on this map.
Okay, so I've been watching all the EMEA games, and this is very similar to the comp that Team Liquid ran on this map. TL were playing no duelist, and had a Gecko in the Raze slot. And the Sage it's an interesting pick. I do think it's pretty decent on this patch, and it can be really annoying, that wall on AXX, how many new angles you can create on that side of the map.
I think this map you can play pretty much any Sentinel viably, or you could even play Sentiless and slot someone else in. But double Senti is weird. I think giving up double Initiator means you really have to play a much more passive style,
Yes.
which to me doesn't feel super Fracture, you
and
know?
you just have way less tools of like flushing players out of angles. When you have very small sights, it can be really good to have that tail util.
But Furia picked this map, and they're staking their kickoff on it.
What you can see, though, is, you know, Fracture being a 4-lane map, Sage on defense can be very funny for just dropping down an early wall, like we see in Arcade there, to shrink it down to 3 lanes.
Big damage on Rafa. He'll die, too.
Yeah, doesn't matter if it's 3 lanes, if you're just dying as they run into 1. Heat not really in a position to help with the fight either.
Another thing EG was great at when they were the best team in the world was orb maxing on this map, right?
True.
Absolutely min-maxing the ultimates. And you already see that here with 4 ultimates up for play.
Yeah, Icy's on 2 orbs right now. They could slow down for the orb in A main if they wanted to, but I imagine they push through. Maybe one of the support agents gets that.
Teo's drone also, I think, an underrated tool, but he won't use anything for that initial
Oh, look at the
endeavor. Havoc
flood.
just gets one, and he's stunned. Push back, aftershock. This guy's getting bullied by util. There's the power of Breach Teo. Right in front of you. MW, now in a bit of a tough spot himself. Has a teammate within that smoke, but he's soon to be overwhelmed. EG swings in. Khalil is good to find 2. Might not have been enough.
Okay, now these players are low. 82 on Nature, 45 on Supa. Heat is coming in to drop. This is nice if they were maybe players going into main, but Heat's going to be forced more than likely to make some noise on this drop. Knows 1 player's on site. Don't think he heard the second. And now waiting for someone to peek into him.
Nature has a stun.
Yeah, stun comes in, forces Heat into the corner. Now Heat knows where everyone is. Time is working against him. EG just aren't giving him an inch, and he keeps spamming. He's just revealing his position on the map. Now he's out of bullets. The ghost nerfs are hurting him. Nature with the 4K to win the pistol.
And a 4K on Breach, too. Immediately funneling orbs into that ultimate.
Talk about orb maxing.
Yeah. And just showing the power of the comp in that first round. A little bit of pressure over towards A. Nade flushes the player on Dice. That's a free kill. Hit into the site. Stun. Aftershock. Tejo. And, well, the anchor is dead.
And honestly, this is one of the reasons, like, that play there, why I was surprised people weren't, like, a team like EG wasn't quicker just to adopt the Tejo. Because to me, the agent doesn't feel super hard to implement. Like, yeah, okay, you need some time in Valor Plant, you need some server reps, of course, but you really can just drop the ability on the fault line.
There's not a lot of micro to Tejo. You don't have to learn lineups. It's a point-and-click adventure game, as long as you have the right macro idea with where your util's going.
There's the stun from Furia coming in. Actually, nice shot from MW Zera. You can see there's still combo ideas with the Furia comp. You, of course, have the paint shells to throw on in.
And they'll net a kill off that. I like the idea to walk underpass here.
Yeah, Rafa also stepped out of drop, so they've basically fully cleared the north side of the map and can re-aggro down towards B main. Havoc taking it slowly.
EGR as well.
Oh, wait, Ye put an alarm bot down there in underpass. I really like that. When you're not playing anyone on the north side of the map, making sure you can't get crept up on, especially as that solo side B lurk.
Essentially turning Valorant into just, you know, any other map that isn't Fracture in the pool.
Furia do have a nice position against this EGA exec, though. Note where Rafa is, up towards drop, but it's only a classic. If it was a Deagle, it would be a little bit more dangerous. As it stands, smokes come in, players forced off the angles. That should be an easy plant for EG.
Guardian on Icy. Smoke about to fade. This player is facing. That's a dink, but whips out on the next shots. Will eventually find his mark. The trade is there.
3 players into drop for Furia. Classics in hand. And Supa hunting down onto Heat. Huge right click from Heat. Supa will eventually fall, and now playing some nice angles on site is Evil Genius's Nature. Gets a couple. That's going to be Rolling Thunder online. EG make it through pretty much unscathed.
In my opinion, that was a miss from Furia and how they played their A retake. I think it's way stronger instead of fighting back into drop and just jumping out and waterfalling yourself into sight to re-clear your own spawn, group up with the rest of your team, and have a lot more threatening angles of approach that aren't just throwing your body at the problem from drop.
Yeah, it's so hard to actually get out of drop when you don't have sand control, don't have players coming out of CT.
And when you don't even have smokes at that point in the round.
Yep.
It would have been difficult either way with the pistols.
And now because of that EG Ord Max, it is Nature online to the Rolling Thunder first. This is major. EG could use that to convert this bonus round.
Kind of surprised to see even an anchor on the site against this comp, against these ults.
Yep. Now that is the typical Sage wall you'll see thrown over towards the B side of the map just responsively up against, you know, jiggling that Sing players or even off the Cypher camera. But you can see EG can just break a
The
chunk
turret's
in
going
it.
back online. The players topside are spotted.
Yeah, it sees those players that pushed out of drop. Now EG are in a tough position. Do you accelerate into B? I think that's the call. Or hunt out onto that flank.
Launching smoke.
This is good by Rafa to fall off site.
Better on Nature to hold the Rolling Thunder. They've got that for the post plant now to stop the flood coming in. And that ruins CT. You can't get out versus that ability.
Derek never even used missiles. Now that'll stall any attempt at a flood from Furia. This suddenly is a winning position for EG. Rolling Thunder into spawn.
Everything's on Havoc here on the flank. Alarm bot spots him out. 3 players ready to swing
Great
off of
stun.
him. And Nature just continues to stall in towards CT. EG are entrenched, but there comes Furia. 2 kills to get it started. Nature still holding his own. But now the rifle's in play. Ye see, he's waiting over in the corner. Ye lets those players get the cross on in, but Icy is just shutting them down. Look at that new duo from EG making it happen.
The discipline from EG. Using the drone to clear sight instead. 1 step ahead of Furia. Saving the Rolling Thunder. That buys them so much time. And that duo clutches things up in the end.
1 enemy remaining.
And that to me feels so classically EG, right? Earning that ult for your bonus round, playing it in such a conservative way, maximizing your value.
Could be better.
And now Furia, they're broke.
Camera team out.
This round for Furia, winning this round is getting some ults online. They need a couple of Sheriff kills, they need to find some orbs. It'll be a double push into A main to get that started for now. But round 5 is going to be the one that really makes or breaks this half for them. Icy should have an ultimate, so need some firepower to battle back with. MW is not going to get more than the single orb. That's not going to be good enough for him.
All missiles away.
We need to see Havoc or Khalil get a kill.
Rafa sprayed down by Icy. Now EG with full control of this site. Furia, they'll make an attempt to fight back in Arcade, but a reflash for EG. Again, Nature holds it for now. Ready to flash on either angle.
Again, Furia, they've lost the round. They need kills on these 2 players. Good flash comes in, and Khalil gets the kills he needs.
But he uses the
What?
ult instantly. This round is already basically lost. There's a Brim Molly coming in. There's Stall still on that spike. There's no way for Furia to win this.
Are you joking?
And the ult is wasted.
There's just not enough time. I mean, credit to Furia. They got some really nice shots going in on that.
That's an overheat.
Havoc found his kill, so that will be a Raze Rocket coming online. But it was just too late in the post plant to activate that look. And now, the advantage Furia should have had, which is the extra Brimstone ult against the mirror matchup of those showstoppers, is not going to exist for them.
So EG will stay ahead in the ult economy game. And that might just snowball this map.
Yeah.
Enemy remaining.
This should just be another flip round, I think, if we're looking at Furia's money. Yeah, they're down to nothing. They're calling a timeout, and I've got news for you. Rafa went for the operator in this purchase.
Sage off against Tejo Breach. Unlike that chamber, Jet, even the Raze, you don't have a lot of tools to escape. So it feels like no matter where you're committing that, if you're taking any risks to get a forward line, you're very likely to get punished by a stun, some other initiator utility coming in from EG.
I want to see where Rafa's going with this op, because wait, he doesn't even have money for a wall. I don't know about this, guys. Thinking the op is the only way to get into the round. Where is he going to play with that? I mean, it's such a major win condition for Furia this round for him to get something done, because if it just ends up being an A exec, he's Sage, wall-less, slow-less, trying to retake a site with an operator. Everything is riding on these A players from Furia.
Derek drones through drop. Pushes the brim off the Oh, is Icy gonna heat up? No, just satchels forward.
Really weird round from EG because it's a strong north side into drop. Really just one player playing A main. And with that early smoke, they've been pushed back there too. This could end up being an EG fake look with the Raze rocket out of drop.
It's a full pivot from before the timeout where they were almost always completely ignoring north side. Khalil backs away. And Icy's gonna heat up with the rockets. No one's on site here, but Havoc! Okay, that's a great reply with the rocket of his own. He'll swing into main and get more! An incredible triple for Havoc has put Furia back in this round.
Furia needed these A players to step up, and maybe they just needed an A player to stand up. Havoc absolutely sweet on that one. Now Evil Genius is walking towards this operator. That'll be Roth again. First one falling on back. Oh, okay. Taken down, and actually, Derek, that's one orb, that's two orbs. Get another kill.
Even a plant.
I mean,
dying's good too.
This could be a sweet round because Derek has really been struggling for kills. That's just 4 orbs out of nowhere for him. We take those.
Yeah, he's one off the ult. Got a credit for Furia though. They needed that hero. Havoc. Some lovely shooting in main.
Yeah, show us that again. Just,
also, the decision making there to satchel up so he's above his opponent's rocket is so sweet.
My heart leaping out of my chest as he almost shot the showstopper into the ceiling. Like that was just barely off because of the send up. And okay, good news for Furia. Operator's been recovered. Rafa has a wall now, has some money in the bank. We'll be playing towards A main. And again, post timeout, Evil Geniuses have switched their default to play very heavy. Yay, just getting a pick in main. I was going to say playing very heavy north side.
Kalmus kills Khalil as well.
And seizing this early drop control. So their mantra has been get the ultimate, the orbs, get Derek online with that, break the tripwire. And now there's that permanent threat of that flood out of drop or even just a alert going in.
And if EG win this round with Derek's ult, they're going to have 2 more just around the corner.
Fracture is a map where usually you're playing 3 or 4 agents with heavy exec utility. So when you get into a rhythm, when you start cycling these ults together, it can be deadly. Fortunately for Furia, they've guessed correctly on this round, playing no one towards that B site. So that ult, Derek farmed up, gonna go basically to waste. And now Furia go for a double flank. 2 players on the south side, Heat going solo up north. And it's just Khalil on low HP in spawn. Oh, and they're playing for the res. That's what it is. I think Havoc is safely behind the wall there too. Derek, though, catches out MW Zera, switches around, takes Heat low, but it's not enough to get the kill.
2 players on 1 health. This is still a retake with an operator, but that's a rolling thunder back in this round. MW's gonna rip it. Nature stunned up. But is there follow-up? Aftershock.
Dear.
Nature somehow stays alive, dodges out on every bit of utility, and is rewarded for it. 2 kills from Nature. Heat on the spike. Icy will go through and try and deny. Gets 1. And now Khalil on 1 HP against Supa. Needs this headshot now. But Supa won't give it to him. He toys around Dice. He wins this round on time and secures the kill too.
2 players there, you gotta shout out. First of all, Nature, living inside of the Matrix. I can't wait to see that again. Dodging the utility, getting 2 kills? Are you kidding me? Before he falls down? And then Supa's movement at the end was also pretty excellent. Just baiting out as much time as humanly possible. Yeah, I mean, look, there's paint shells in front of him. There's a blast. The paint shells were just a second later, I think. There's no chance for him. Hard to make that actually happen in real time.
Let's go.
And I know we won't shut up about the ult, but that's how you win on Fracture.
It's true.
Nature has his. Yay, Supa, both 1 off as well. This is a full-on snowball for EG.
Anti-eco from EG. They put that alarm bot down underpass. While Furia walled off north side, so Icy just waiting for MW to walk on into his crosshair. It's the first one. Some nades push Heat up as well, and Yay is just again, I really love watching Ye and Icy standing next to each other. The way they've traded each other out consistently since joining this roster has been good.
By the way, that was both the hero guns bought into this round for Furia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, unrecoverable.
Very recoverable down there in Underpass.
Also, playing no Taeho means that KJ ult is a real ability.
Yeah, that's definitely something you're missing here. Can't say I'm enraptured by the Sage comp so far.
Not quite.
Although again, I do like what it can do on the attacking side with walls. It's a little more annoying. Sean also was a bit of a Sage believer back, at least when he was coaching on 100 Thieves. Maybe he can talk a bit about it. Because the 100 Thieves comp had Sage in it for a long time. And I thought that was really good. Those forward walls towards CT sort of interrupted the retakes, interrupted that typical brawly style of Fracture play. But so far, we've really just seen those round start walls that haven't really slowed down EG all that much. They just avoided them.
6-1 up now for Evil Geniuses. And this is how you dream of attack sides going on Fracture. Snowball the ult, your opponent starts to try and make plays, walk up on you, get ahead. EG's just constantly punishing it.
Furia also don't have great tools for early aggro plays because they're playing the Sage. It's a much more controlled style. So one side of the map is usually going to be your Cypher Sage, looking to just stall out and buy time for rotates. Or if you're doing early aggro pieces with Havoc's Rays, you can find those flank timings. But it hasn't seemed like Furia can really punch holes in how EG are playing this right now. You know, Derek can just use the drone to re-clear A main whenever it's Furia looking for some attention there. I think the early defaulting from EG has been really unchallenged thus far because of the info pieces they're putting down with that underpass alarm too.
With the more common comps on this map, your normal idea as an IGL coach out of this would be, okay, let's try and do something proactive, deny space, maybe a B main fight look, a north side crunch, something like that. You can do that with this comp, but the issue is EG have such strong tools for counter utility that it doesn't feel like you can win with those proactive plays.
Also, while people have, you know, poo-pooed on the KJ because now Teo can just break the ultimate, the turret is still one of the best anti-aggro tools because you can play having that watch one side, you play on the rope, can dodge out of it on the other. The mollies in a post plan are still effective, the alarm underpass, so this agent, even if you take the risk that Teo nullifies your ultimate, can still have value here, and EG are proving that in their default play.
That's exactly what you're talking about. Killjoy contains one side, EG creep up on A.
So this is their post-timeout, both timeouts actually. EG's default has been play for this drop, move on forward, get an orb.
And get a free kill on Havoc. He just swung alone and is dead for it.
Yep, when your weak side is getting kills like this, it's hard to lose games.
Was there any utility to set that up?
I think we had, no,
Maybe, I think it was a
has
Roomba
everything.
that missed.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And they saw the strong side being north, but yeah, you don't want to call in utility, you'd imagine. Here's a double swing. Again, there's full breach utility!
And they just feed the meat grinder. Fury have practically already lost this round.
It just hurts because at a certain point you're like, okay, maybe Supo cleared out of that space and we're taking the risk, but when you're already playing a comp that has limited fighting tools because of the Sage, you have to be a lot more choice in those engagements you're actually taking. EG just on a bit of a hunt for some kills, some KD, some orbs, everything. Because they've got infinite mollies for that spike, no chance of tossing the round away.
And EG don't have to use a thing to win that round. Often he will try and keep these weapons.
Last player standing.
EG's not going to let that happen.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, Rafa. At least lets one gun be saved on through. It's a 7-1 now for EG.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see a huge switch up from Furia. I think bring the Cypher over. I would call Cypher over onto the A side. Play for like the cam in A main, especially if you think EG are going to keep playing the stronger north side of the map. That camera can be really annoying. But if it really just rinse repeating these A lobby fights, yeah, you can change your util pattern. Maybe you have better luck combining that, I don't know.
Furia just 6 rounds away from elimination, from kickoff, from attention for Masters, and Supa eviscerates another player off the rip.
Yeah, got in front of the orb, as a matter of fact. Drops the ultimate in case anyone's on site. You also can't play in that slant corner because you're going to get bombarded by utility. Furia maybe have a chance to spam off the Cypher camera. That's an annoying one, and he's taking his timing, but...
It's just 1 by 1. Players walking out, getting killed, and Furia now don't have a concerted effort to make this retake happen.
Yeah, it was a little bit early, too, because the Brimstone ultimate came in just a second after that swing happened. I think Furia were calling to fight out with that, but just jumped the gun a little bit.
They're saving. The offseason, people got excited seeing the names on this roster. Heat, after the year he had playing with crew, switching his role to initiator. Rafa, a prospect coming up from tier 2. But right now, I mean, staking your year on picking Fracture into EG and honestly not looking prepared to play against a Breach Teho.
And the thing is, too, Rafa is a new IGL in the sense of we're seeing him on the Americas stage IGLing for the first time, but not his first time IGLing a highly competitive team. Made it pretty deep into the Ascension run a couple of years back. Wasn't able to qualify himself.
Drink some water.
But now tested up on what has historically always been Evil Geniuses and Potter's best map. It has been a bit of a difference.
They're pretty cobbled together for Furia.
One off the showstopper, perhaps, for Furia. Maybe that's the tool they could use to have a pace change and try and snipe off an early kill in the next round. But similarly to last time Icy had the ultimate, it will be coming out of drop. It's because the Raze pathing is just so favorable when you come up from an elevated position with that ability. Can be pretty nice at clearing out A. Also has the reach to take A main control, which, hey, that's that early Sage wall and the flip of Cypher and Sage to the A side I was looking for.
Rolling Thunder through the site, actually towards Sands as the rocket paths in and deals with Heat. Rafa traded out from the pinch in main. And it's a situation we've seen so many times with Furia's anchors dead, a 3v5 retake. This time at least one better. Some of these members are going to be coming in from drop.
Havoc needs to snipe a kill from up here so we can get the showstopper and get back into sight to really have a chance, I feel. Fortunately, EG's post plants on this A side have been really locked in. They're not giving free kills over. Some utility to try and flush the players back on site, but it's not gonna bump Icy out of here.
Icy goes in. 1-for-1's good enough because he has his team backing him up with stall utility. Missiles heading towards the spike.
It's endless,
A flash into main. But the fight's just not there.
Okay,
Havoc! This is his chance. Rocket, it misses. Havoc gets the kills regardless. And Furia finally reply with a round.
There it is. I mean, the 2 rounds, Fury have won. It's just Havoc going crazy. That kill onto Icy, trading out his teammate, getting over into main. I mean, if he falls, it is all lost. But those 2 rounds from him, enough to get 2 on the board for Furia. Here it is. How does that rocket not get a kill?
That's crazy.
I don't know. I guess Teho's just immune to splash damage. Okay, stun line prepared for MW Zera up here off the contact in arcade. I like this. A different setup for Furia. It's late in the half, but...
Ifeiji just contact main, though. They could cook this goose. MW now has to pivot his stun over towards main. And the trap plays diffused.
Yeah, the nice thing for Furia is they hadn't actually showed their hand too much on that side of that, MW holding on to the stun, so EG didn't feel comfortable to accelerate. Instead, they want to re-clear arcade and pinch in with it. Ye's going to come from up north side. These 3 players move into underpass so they can swing this heaven line on 2 different angles.
Nature with stun in hand. Will catch on to Havoc as the drone follows through and spots out 2. No more util available for the members on site. They're gonna fight back towards heaven, but tail rockets are coming in. They're pinched yet again as nature runs down the site and yet again establishes a post plant for EG.
Evil Genius's crunch timings have been excellent this game. Even on the last site hit, the round they lost, making it work nicely. There, Havoc under just way too much pressure. He can't have that round he needs to win it for Furia. We'll see though. Rafa and Heat creeping up. Time's a ticking, and with main held, with tower held, there's just no entrance into this site. Could be Rafa playing for some kills on the opposite side.
Stand down.
That is it. Moving into a 12.
When people watch Seoul DG play, I think the most memorable thing was the big set piece rounds. The alt combos, the Sova into a Brim alt on this crazy execute. But I think what really made their game plan on Fracture then, and here now in this first time we're seeing them play it in 2025, is the legwork going up that. How adept they are at kind of having that initial default, taking one part of the map, then slowly re-clearing, and getting themselves in a position where they're confident they cannot lose on their execute.
And they can't look at the side anchors from Furia. They're always looking the wrong way because EG are coming at them at the same time from 3 different directions. It's wild.
Ye has a lockdown. And Furia can't do a thing about it.
I think Furia are going to try going for a big flank. You can see them repositioning on the A side of the map, using that lockdown wind-up time to end up getting that push. MW also picked up an orb, so a couple of kills on this flank, and that retake could get wild with a Rolling Thunder.
Flank is active. Supa already down. Very good opener from MW, but EG are going to turn and fight. They dodge out on the stun, and they shoo the Furia members away.
Nature's also underpass. It's only Icy on site here, which is a bit wild. And at the same time, MW is regrouping back in spawn, so all of a sudden, Havoc is going to be the very late lurk, and he is turning so many heads his way.
Icy has a rocket. Could satchel around and help his team if players start to make contact through spawn. Rafa's walked into the site. Ye spots him, and Ye doesn't have a gun out in time. Util goes towards heaven. Icy still double satchels, ready to wrap around and help the team as the flank is dealt with. Icy goes 1 for 1. They're off the spike, and now more Util coming in. Furia have to fight, and they have to win this fight. Heat is critical, and he can't stand. EG closed another post plant.
Nature started the game off good with a 4K, and he finishes out that first half with the clutch there, the 2 kills at the end to make it happen. I mean, my man is 13-6 right now in the breach. He's having a game.
1 enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Incredible stuff there. 10-2 for EG. It's been a long time since they played Fracture. We've missed watching it, and now they'll look to end Furia's kickoff when we return.
Look what I've just made. The perfect pearl.
Not too bad, but check this out.
Whoa, a true Venus clam.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Furia were the first team to get eliminated in last year's kickoff in double 2-0 fashion. And history is looking to repeat itself here today. Already down 1 map versus EG and coming into the second half trailing 2 rounds to 10. They need someone, anyone, to step up and bring some life into this team, or it's all done for them this time around.
It's going to be difficult, though. EG has been on fire this map, and Nature especially, leading his team from the front.
It all starts with a pistol. It is 3 for 3 from EG so far today. Furia about to walk into the same main trap.
Tail missiles ready to go. They hold it for the second piece of contact, and now an aftershock to Khalil, though. That's a very big kill to find onto Icy, and they've disengaged the tripwire.
Khalil been trop fragging this game as well for Furia. Finds that opener.
Spotted 3 players, though. That'll pull rotates over towards A.
Yeah, Furia can start to heat up, and keep your eyes on Heat. He'll be the solo drop alert coming on in. He'll have some control here to pinch down into sight, make sure no one gets out from CT. These players are looking for it, but he gets flashed. He's dropped down into hell, somehow staying alive between Rafa and Heat. Furia have found themselves a pistol.
Flawless at that. Finally, a sign of life from the Brazilian squad.
Okay, I only have...
Better late than never. Here we go, Furia. Breathe something back. We got Vandals purchased up. We got an Outlaw and Khalil. This is what they need, because a second round here isn't going to be enough. They need to keep this momentum rolling here. Already got a little bit of a look at that A lobby fight. You can see maybe the Teo utility comboed with the breach. Covers a lot of ground, but you can still find some holes if you dodge away from the breach stun.
For sure. Like, the only way you're getting kills with that play is if people are actively getting hit in the stun, and as we see here, Havoc sees the missiles coming in, has time to disengage.
Importantly, Nature didn't use that stun early, so they still have that to refight. Maybe if players push past this smoke. If anyone on EG is going to do it, it'll be Ye with the Sheriff. Really taking his chances, jiggling over for some B main control. I don't know if Rafa wants that one.
Are they going to push the smoke here?
Yeah, they are.
Rafa's grabbing an orb. He's not ready for this. That's a Vandal! And he's ready for Heat too.
Oh.
Doesn't get the kill, though.
That said, it was Supa that picked up the Vandal. They know it's going to be an A hit now. Nature stuck down in hell, but it's actually Havoc jumping up above him. Icy's helping him out. The players are stuck in main. Havoc gets that first kill, Ghost in hand, but Derek spamming away. Furia are not out of the woodworks just yet. It's 2 players on site with Heat going for an incredibly late lurk, and EG are flooding on in.
They're fully grouped up, though. In towards main, they have to wait out these smokes.
Heat actually made it through.
It's all about Superman. The only rifle to work with, and that's a good re-clear. Icy's dead, and he didn't even see Heat. Well, they just want to contain. They're playing for damage here, not to win the round.
Stuck. As soon as they lost that sand player, it was basically over.
But that's such a good play when you're up 10-3. Take away as many guns as possible, make that bonus round as weak as possible.
Now here's the thing though, you see 2 players with over 2,000 credits here from Furia. It was an FPX buy from them, so 3 rifle or outlaw equivalents. So I still think they have 4 weapons minimum. And if I'm Furia, I'm taking that buy. And they are. Okay. With a little extra left over from Khalil too. Light armor on Supaments. The Outlaw not going to be super effective. If you see light armor on entry agents, that's when it's going to be a little bit more punchy. Same A setup from EG. Horizontal stun line. Furia dodged that away. Get pushed back even further with a drone, making sure they see these players. Only spotting 2 though, I think. Will make these EG players on B stick their feet.
Heat, very early lurk.
What a
read.
read.
He's not looking. The turret makes contact, though. And he's missed his chance.
He wanted to get that timing because he knows Ye likes to play there after the other round.
Re-clear.
Oh, dear.
Perfect nade.
That is nice. They give up that early control. Now Ye up in heaven. Guardian playing underneath him. The swarm comes in. Heat fights his way out from down underneath. And Supa's looking the wrong way. He takes him down. Furia are getting the ball moving here.
That's the heat that Furia have needed all tournament. The guy who was probably the best player on crew last year.
I think he was just the best initiator in terms of fragging power in Americas last year. This dude was putting up ridiculous numbers every single game. And it's going to be a big change when you go into the Sentinel role. All of a sudden, you don't have those fighting options. You need players to come into you. This time around, getting the better of EG on that arcade fight. And you start to see the vision of the rest of this half now, where EG are forced onto a buy at 10-5. That makes it 10-6. Well, maybe Furia have a breach ult, have a raise ult coming up online. You know, in a couple rounds from now, that's going to be the critical round that makes or breaks this half. Fracture is really a map where it comes down to just a few rounds, I really feel like. Where it's a big buy disadvantage, you know, one team wins or loses this, determines whether they buy the next or not. And it's going to be ultimates coming online too. So you have these huge explosive rounds. And all Furia need to do is win a couple of those in this half. And they win those right ones. That momentum can keep carrying them and bring this back even.
I did like Potter taking a pretty early timeout here. Remembers what happened to them in that game against Loud.
Both of them.
2 maps that slipped away after a big advantage at halftime.
I think things to talk about here is the A main reclear, right? And also how much space has been gathered in arcade. Even though last round, like the kills came in at the end, I was really worried about Heat getting so close up to Ye, and he'll have heard those bullets right next to his ear. He knows how close that was. So Potter maybe flipping where they want to be fighting, maybe not in this eco round, but in future rounds, putting some more attention into arcade, or maybe fighting there to get an underpass walk and fight down into B main. Switching things up so it's not so readable, because their default has been exactly the same these first 3 rounds.
Compared to Furia's defensive side, EG have a lot more tools to be able to change into a more proactive look.
It's true. You know, EG could also do other things where they show, you know, Taeho utility, raise util on A side, and just move the breach away. You know, pretend like they're holding onto the stun for a refight, but really that could be on the B side, get some quick rotates over in. But again, on this eco round, one thing as a coach a lot of times you'll do is you'll say, play the same overall strategy. Don't give away what we think is going to win that make or break round on round 17.
This time the util is used instantly from EG. They hold the fault line though.
Yeah. Not giving that one up, because then next round, Breach doesn't necessarily have to be here. Be off the drone contact. Stun comes in. Icy won't be satcheling forward, instead just creeping, but the second stun, the rocket follow, that is nice. The blind is in, Khalil is down. I mean, EG have just pieced together a perfect round.
Here's the stun for the refight. Nade forward, but a smoke is going up. EG can't get Derek out of dodge, but that's still an advantageous trade.
On the B side though, both Sentinels keeping an eye out for each other. He knows that one more step forward and that turret's going to be hitting him, so he takes his time until Havoc gets a little close. Wait, no, it doesn't.
Remember that turret nerf. Can't quite see 180. He has to be checked on manually instead, and now the cavalry is arriving, and Heat doesn't want to stick around in the same spot too much longer. Spray through does good damage, but he's stunned up, caught out, and Ye's ready on the swing. More damage onto Heat. Icy has killed another around him. And suddenly, this man is standing alone. He'll deliver, though. It was more players wounded from EG. All of them, in fact. Below half health, he can do a hell of a lot. Nature trying to whittle away at MW's era. As Ye slowly creeps up. Furia needs this round, and Ye, he wants to rip it away. So it's all up to Heat. A new rule, but a same outcome as so many rounds before. EG, a great call on their eco. And they've taken the driver's seat yet again.
Oh, I just can't believe it. EG didn't even change anything. They held the stun a little bit for the refight. Just a slight little shift to their util pattern there. And of course, unlock the showstopper with Icy's first kill. Icy's looked really good so far today. And it's on full display here. Even then, it seemed like there was a chance with Furia's walk up onto the B site.
Nice, let's go. Oh my God. Okay.
Very understated.
Seriously. I'll admit my own fraudulence a bit. I haven't played the Killjoy since the changes on this map, but I think you can angle it at a 45-degree angle and get a little bit better vision of main and still have arcade coverage.
Sure. I'm pretty sure you can, but it's a little tight angle.
Up to heaven quickly from Furia.
Ye wants to fight through the smoke, I think. Waiting for the right timing to do so.
Ooh, this is a weird round, though, because Heat is still in drop. He could go for a late flank, or they could just, you know, pull players here because they went showed all the way up into tower. See, the timing is just crazy into sand. EG are trying to double swing this. They really are anticipating Heat's presence here.
At this point, they know he'll fall away, but that's such a big kill from Rafa.
Crazy! Icy was pushed down into main, finds the first kill, needs to deal with Rafa, who's boosted up on his own wall. Players absolutely not where they should be.
Icy looking to be the hero again. 4v4, the Sage isolated.
And it's a slow creep on the zip line from Heat to come and flank wrap around on Icy.
But Icy's not slowing down. He'll heat up and get the kill onto Rafa.
Here's Heat.
Worried about that flank. Icy throws in the nade, but he's past Heat. The mark missed, and Heat's dead. Khalil now the last man to try and salvage this, and Nature, he's not getting off. It doesn't matter. Khalil for 3. Furia somehow salvaged that round.
What a mess! What's going on here? Icy finds that catch into B main. Ruff was boosted on the wall. It's madness.
The spaghetti's everywhere.
It's on the floor. It's on the ceiling. I don't know.
Maybe that's where these Furia players shine.
I mean, Khalil, certainly. There you go. 3 kills, rapid fire succession. Look at these ultimates from Furia. That's what I was talking about. Get that snowball rolling. Imagine society if EG hadn't stolen away that eco round. Here's another chance for Ye. Actually stunned up, so he's going to be able to just barely drop down. Pinch from Furia will be coming in. Sage Cypher slowly making their way into A main.
Re-clear of B main.
Oh
and Ye, he's just so bold. Rolling Thunder, as well as the off, and that's just a res straight back for Rafa. Site secured, back in command. And the EG players will get picked apart, trying to go for their 1.
You can see some of the ideas with the Sage, though. That wall towards heaven, super annoying. You have to spend a lot of time to clear that. It also builds you that ledge to play on Rafter, where you're fully protected. That could come into play more meaningfully in future rounds. This time, though, it's just double fights into spawn from Furia. They want their eco frags. Want to charge up those ults.
We talked a lot about the ult economy for EG in the first half. And now Furia starting to get their own snowball. Derek doesn't have time for this, but the damage is still good.
Live munition.
Only 4 rounds separating the two teams. Did cost MW Zera and Rafa their ultimates there, though. It's now the Brimstone ulti to play with. And one thing, obviously Ye is feeling very emboldened because it is an eco round, but Ye, I think consistently is going to try and take these angles fighting into the weak side. So when evil geniuses show their hand early on, and they show where the Raze, the Breach, the Tail, all those fighting agents are, you can expect Ye to look for a time, or even Icy to look for that sort of angle peek, that swing against the Cypher, the Sage.
EG switched the trap play setup from A main to arcade.
A high-low, a stun for Nature, too.
He was holding out the ult there. Seeing only the Cypher once he peeks around.
Heat is not going to like this.
No, I don't think so.
Not at all.
There's a
Get him
stun.
out of there.
There's
Oh.
an aftershock. He's running.
Okay, good news is Nature wasn't snapping the ult. Derek wasn't snapping the ult. He'll get out, no problem. Just some chip damage. But what Furia can do off of this is now accelerate into the A site. Ollie's out to slow them down, but it's really Furia attacking into sand so they can get the Sage wall down and then pinch into the site.
Rolling Thunder. Back towards Sands. A counter ult.
Icy
coming in
stuck,
from
though.
Furia, but Fiji's just getting every kill. Icy will eventually break his way out of jail, and he tries to find a duel. Maybe a little too bold. Khalil's alone, and no magic this round. EG are at match point.
Respect to EG. By all accounts, that play should not have worked without a player being able to flood out of heaven. But the Breach Brim Bros, they come flying out of spawn. Doesn't matter if they have the second angle. Breach ult helped them out big time. Didn't catch that Jay was up in front as well. Getting that kill onto the stage is crazy.
On top of the stage wall.
Oh, that's what happened.
Did he get bounced up
he got
by the
bounced
breach
up
ult?
on top. Yep. Ye gets it.
That's funny.
Now though, series point. Furia, kickoff on the line for them here.
Icy has another raised rocket. He wants to end this. That's a good shot. In comes the ultimate, and somehow everyone escapes.
Stun just barely late from nature. They're still hunting.
Here comes that raised rocket. A Brim ult. There he is again. Everything this round. EG demolishing Furia. As the rocket misses, EG gets the kills, and they knock Furia out of kickoff. It's been 2 years since we've watched EG on Fracture. It may be a new team, but they still own this map.
Absolute Fracture round at the end there. Complete Valorant spaghetti. Ultimates flying everywhere. Icy doesn't connect his, but it doesn't matter. EG closing things out in the second half. Yeah, Furia built up some momentum, and you see a little bit of hope that this roster had when it was put together. Right, Heat coming into the squad. Khalil, can frag in the server. But at the end of the day, this team just didn't seem to be able to compete at the same level. It'll be the first team eliminated here from America's Kickoff.
EG, though, a massive recovery. From losing back-to-back advantage halves against Loud to debuting their first Taeho this season.
Look, the Taeho is looking good. The set plays on Abyss, frying.
Icy looking real strong individually as well.
Oh my god, especially that first map. Icy was just out of his mind. Then Ye comes in with the Opping Astra. I mean, that reminds you of some of the excitement we had from EG, and I don't want to overhype just yet, right? It's just one game here. They're going to have to fight their way through the lower bracket, but you saw the pieces of what could make this team good.
They're starting to deliver on the promises
Yes.
of signing Ye, of bringing this roster together.
And answering some of those questions we had of them. Could they play the Taeho? Were they going to bring that into the mix? A couple of new maps we saw as well. The strat book showing up in a big way. Again, we talk about the set plays on Abyss, but I just want to talk about the pacing of their site hits on this map. The way they swarmed into the site, whether it was on their Sand, XX a day, and especially those tower wraps from Arcade splitting their way in. It was very nicely coordinated. That's not something you can just communicate on the fly necessarily. That's very good awareness of teammates. That means dry runs and servers. That means this team had the work put in coming into this map where they didn't have a lot of time to implement that tail like we were talking about.
It's still going to take a honest-to-God EG miracle run if they want to make Bangkok. From this first round, you need 4 more wins in a row to qualify to that tournament.
But hey, Sentinels last year went lower bracket, played the maximum amount of maps, and it worked out for them. Now, are EG Sentinels? No.
Good point.
Is that point going anywhere?
Was there a but?
Also no, but EG have good players, and they could win some games.
That's true. Absolutely true.
Boldest statement ever said on the test.
Yeah, incredibly so. But just a great match there from EG. Long road ahead. I mean, their side of the bracket's a little tough. C9 or MIBR. But for Furia, obviously tough to say goodbye this early. I think people rightfully had high hopes for this roster. Seeing those signings, Heat especially, they just couldn't put it together.
It's the unfortunate reality of the kickoff event, right? If you can't perform immediately, we're not going to see a lot of you. So we're not going to know a lot about this Furia team. We only saw 4 maps. Heat didn't, shock the world on that Sentinel play. He was a lot more dominant in the fragging department last year. So this team is going to have to put in the work, getting prepared for stage 1 and show us something better, because we were excited for this team. We know they've got the talent. It's about putting it all together from the get-go now.
Absolutely. I mean, that first match being just off that 10-hour flight from Sao Paulo was a tough situation for Furia, all things considered. Still got some cool stuff from them. I mean, got to see the Turtle Troop roster
Gotta love
playing.
that.
Was an interesting kickoff, all things considered. But today is about EG, and we have a special guest standing by with Dryad for your Verizon post-game interview.
And that's right, it is a very special guest because I'm here with the one and only El Diablo. Can I hear it for Ye? Yay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on this win. Everybody's excited to see you back. And I want to ask you exactly that. What does it feel like to be back here in NA? And now get your first win.
Honestly, it feels great to be back. There was a long period of time in which I've never played for an NA crowd, so I'm super excited to be back and play for all the people who support me at home. You know, I love the Pacific, but there's nothing quite like home.
Exactly, that's right. And they know that for sure. They were cheering every single one of those kills. I want to ask you as well, we've seen you play a couple of different agents, a couple of different roles. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about how are you feeling with these agents?
Honestly, I'm feeling pretty good. Basically, I've transitioned to pretty much a flex role, and I do a lot of different things, and it just kind of depends on the map. So I've been finding a lot of comfort in that, and much credit to Potter for helping me develop these agents and improve my overall map pool and just agent pool in general.
And now we have a very special question from one of the fans in the audience. We actually have two. So this comes from Maddie and Kevin. They want to know, what is your favorite thing about playing for Evil Geniuses?
Favorite thing about playing for the Evil Genius? It has to be my teammates. We do ping pong tournaments nonstop, and we have a lot of fun. So I have to say my teammates.
And I have one more question for you. That next match is going to be either Cloud9 or MIBR who are playing next. Ooh. I want to put you on the spot. Who's winning that?
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
but,
it is.
I'm going to say MIBR.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am excited for that match. MIBR or Cloud9, honestly.
Yeah.
Whoever you have to face next, I'm excited to see. Thank you so much, Ye. Once again, can we hear it for Ye?
Thank you, guys.
We'll send it back to the desk.
Thank you.
Got a bunch of different mice.
When you find the one, you know it's the one.
저는 이게 제일 좋은 것 같아요.
Look at this. Isn't this perfect?
누가 만들었는지 알려주는 것도 같이 들어있고.
This mouse is ready for a fashion show.
It's Pulsar by me.
It's by me.
It's Pulsar by you.